there's this, you have to do two together. What does it exactly mean? It means that for a country very poor, that resources, you make every bit of resources used, for the production. Which in a capitalist society economy, you cannot do that. Why? Because the most efficient, the biggest one, always out the little one. You can coexist at the same time. So that's why two legs are so important. That shows what happens. The state sector has a very efficient, large scale, high technology, advanced technology. For in the countries, you have the small industry that operate at the scale and use the kind of technology or phase out by the sector, and they will use and they countryside. So these are words. So this also only it's not possible. It's not if you have computation to trace out the least efficient. So I think the development is impressive in terms of of the countryside. The third table shows that if you can take a look of the third table in terms of mechanizing in the total tractor plowed area, the cultivated area in 1950 hardly there was anything. 1979 there were 44%. The area also increased quite a lot. More important is that irrigated areas increased from 1.6% to 53.3%. Meaning that before they were irrigation, but it was peasants using the carrying water. But then the electrification of the countryside very, very possible. In terms of chemical fertilizer, then you can take of everything, and the horsepower of agriculture 10,000 horsepower from 25 to 8,191. So in every area, it shows the modernization of was accomplished through lines, through cooperation, through workplace, and the industrial that China made tremendous progress in terms of technology, because in 1960 the Soviet expert was from China and they even took the group with them, so that China had to start on its own. And if you really look into this area, very interesting, two big of congressional of United States, United States congressional on China, probably 78, one probably 79. They have tons of information on accomplishment China's industrial technology. In terms of tech in the country, the commune club, experimental stations in many areas in the countryside, that China could improving the seed, the vegetable trend. It would take 7 or 8 years to really establish in other places. In China, it could take 3 years. The reason is they start in a climate area and another area, so you one time each year, 3 or 4 times. So it speed up the development. So I see my almost up. So I think the conference a great deal during the forgotten something. In terms of satisfying human, the statistics also shows very clearly that in every area of health, China made years of improvement. Before 1949, death rate crude per 1,000 population 56, and by 1970 up to 6. In terms of life expectancy, increased 30-some years to 4 years. In terms of infant rate, it dropped 120 live births per 1,000 to let's see, to 56. In terms of number of children, percent of children school age in primary school, 93%. All this have shown improvement in human needs being. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, thank you. The proposed is that we will have after we are done in this session, and then the remaining 40 minutes we can have engaged in before we break for you. Pao-yu, Dr. Ching. The next one I have the pleasure of bringing here is Dr. Dongping Han, all the way from North Carolina. I had vaguely heard about him through reference he made in the book at White Cat, Robert Weil. At that time, is going from an unpublished something like that. Until a few months ago, only a month ago, I found out the review had made his book available. First thing I had to do is diminish one online, and the more I began to read, the more I became desperate to get hold of this man. Get hold of this man. I mean, it was easy for me because it still, and in the Google items, he asked something about him, name, number, how to contact him. And immediately called him, and then he here with us. Dr. Han up in the Chinese commune, cooperative farm. He grew up in the village. And to talk about it himself. What struck me in his book is the things he was to detail and as my achievements of the Chinese in that village and in that country as a whole, in every street. He could not have ever gone to school, not been at the right time at the right time, essentially. If you were born 10 years, you probably would have never gone. If you were born at 20 years, you probably would have never gone. He owes it, and that his fellow villagers, people, his family members, the Cultural Revolution not possible for children to go to school, but it was an experiment. It was dramatic element of the basic math. Okay, I present to you Dongping.
Thank you, Harry. Nice introduction. Paul, for making this possible. Thank everybody for coming to me, right? I want to start my speech by tell you my story first. And I grew up from China. Both my parents were Jewish. And by 1949, 90% in China were Jewish. My parents just were these people, right? Their family took to send them to school. I'm one of my elder was 4 years older than I was. She was, Harry just said, matter of time. My 4 years older daughter, she won't have any education. At the time, the village school was very small, and there was not enough room in the room for every children. Actually, most in my village were illiterate, older than I was. Okay, and all my cousins, my friends in the neighborhoods were not. All this changed during the Cultural years. 1966, the government encouraged farmers to build village school. By 1906, when the culture was over, every village, 1,000 villages, had a primary school. Every child were able to go to school free of charge. The child today say the Cultural Revolution is not Holocaust. It is educational design. That's not. It is a lie. Before the Cultural Revolution, there were one high school in my country, and school only take students. There were 150,000 in Jima County, where I was from. 750 people. Only one. Take 60 students a year. For 70 years for the Cultural Revolution, we educated 1,500 high school students. 70 years. Of these students, 800 left, got into college, never came back. Cultural years, there were 7 middle school in my country. By the end of the Cultural Revolution, 1970, we had 249 middle school. Every 4 villages had one joint middle school. Every child was in this middle school free of charge. I just told you before, there's only one. By 1960, we had 9 high schools. When I went to high school, only 17 of these who graduated from middle school were able to high school. By 1975, when my younger sister school, everybody were able to go to high school. Before the Cultural Revolution, there were 9 high school graduates in the village. When I graduated high school in 1970, 100 in my village graduated from high school. Education expanded during the cultural years. I think the most important thing is only the numbers increase. It's also the quality has graduated rural children. Of course, how do we define educational quality? It's very hard. Different people have different standards. But for me, I think the education from the new high school very high, was very useful for people's life. Right? When I first I remember I was at the University of Vermont, and one of the professors there, Professor of Cultural Revolution, asked me to join his class. And while in class, he told me how horrible the teaching in the Cultural Years was. And I was very upset, but there's no way I can them. So I told them, I said, every one of you want to have a competition with me. Let's see who is better. we all lost. What do we learn during the cultural years? Very powerful stuff. And the Cultural Revolution, because of time, were very much. Many teachers couldn't handle the rebellion of rebellion. My third grade teacher is when we heard Austin. Because all her life, the student was supposed to sit in the class, listen to teachers. The student become rebel. She couldn't handle it. When I was in 3rd grade, my uncle bought me a new set of card, playing card. School. One classmate had got a new set of cards. The teacher confessed. Just broke in 1966. The playing cards. Playing cards, yeah. Yeah, my grandfather went to Paris during World War I as a contractor. She bought a knife from the trailer by the I brought to school to my classmates. Confiscated. And my father asked for, I couldn't tell him where. Right? So the beginning of the Cultural Revolution, character posture. I said, where's my knife? In the class. Character posters. The teacher was lost it. He took off running in the campus naked. Right? So where I sat, came back. She came back. She were a big support of the revolution. She followed the climate time. He did a lot of things in the classroom. Eventually, by the time I was going to the 5th grade, the students went to small groups and to teach a class. I still remember the first class I taught my classmates in the classroom. I told them how it was to serve people. And the teacher got a reference, and we discussed before the class, and we taught it. The teacher encouraged us so much, and we felt very, very proud of ourselves. That's how we learn. We learn, and then we discuss the class, and they share with our class. And their teacher too actually led us to a factory. Factory. Because always in it, that's teach. And another, I think we had a new textbook during the cultural years. Before the whole China used the same textbook, compiled by in the capital. Doesn't matter. You study material. For the cultural, the first time we encourage students and teachers who study things best needed, mostly needed for the local region, involving physics at the time. I was the only church, the students went to the local factory to these engineers. First, we needed the most. And we needed the people to know how the internal combustion engine, what's the operating principle, what are the most common, and how to solve. We can actually compile our textbook. So much what we need to know in the kind of stuff. Cultural Revolution, the students who graduated from high school left the village. But when we graduated from the village, in high school, we returned to the village. The village to make the place better for our own future. That's power. In the year 2006, the Chinese government is in the 13th year of the region of college entrance. And the local approached me and said, asked me to write an article on my own experience of getting into college at the time. I told them, so my story, my reflection will not make you happy. Why? When I told the exam in 1977, there were 11,000 high schools in my course. 2,000 took the exam. 2,000. The only person invited. I came back home. The people in this area said, "The reason you went to college because your paper was on one." So they do. Is that true? Mom, that's true. It was really, really true. My mom said, "Oh, that's true. So you are not. There's one selected." That's not true. But on a different dimension, right? It wasn't true. The chance of going to college at the time was slim. When I was right up to take the exam, my friends in the West, why do you want to take it? The newspaper said, nationally speaking, 239 people, only one opportunity. Why do you want to win? It's talked to. It's not the money. For going to college, very, very small. The reason I say this is because I was one I would be like. If we never introduce this interesting exam, what am I like? And what it will be like? I'm one of the one today. The Chinese cultural revolution will not end it, continue. We would have much better village. We would have much better. I think a much better world. I said, so at the time I came down, we didn't write an article for them. But after he left, I thought, yes, I should write about this. Why not? Why not? So I wrote that night, 6 pages in Chinese, and internet, asked my nephew to type into the meter. And it started circulating in China. There were people writing afterwards, commenting. I was lucky to college writing around to condemn the thing. Right? Was it improved my life because that college industry them. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about how China would benefit. That's not the case. If the ruler who went to college, went to high school, graduate, came back to community with their people, prove their own the 200 million Chinese workers wouldn't have to migrate to the urban area to work as an enslaved labor. In the year 2, I was a member on a Fulbright grant group, Hong Kong, Guam, Shenzhen, and Xiamen to. I was very disturbed by what I saw there. In the trees, in the shoe, kids 17, 18 years old, wherever floating 13 hours a day, making shoes for export. And they were so busy working. When we passed them, didn't even have time to look at us. I became aware. Last night, when Harry was reading some poem to us, I was very moved. The children today were deprived of education. When I saw these young people in these factories, thinking I could be one. And the reason I spoke, Harry, about the Chinese Cultural Revolution is because after knowledge involved in some project in the Chinese side. And in the village, many rural kids, 4-year-old went with a group of American professors. And grabbed a few, asked them whether they can read the headline paper. And good. And the Ching said they were not. The reason I talk about this, but I think there's a fundamental philosophy down there. The Chinese government never to provide education to these farmers, but the farmers themselves did it when the government allowed them. We built these schools, so many schools, right? Our own energy, with our own resources. We don't need this. Can do as well, even better. Even better. I was in Vancouver University the other, and our tenant student there. Obama will not solve America. Obama's cabinet will not be able to solve the problem. America is bankrupt. The American people will. I think if they were allowed to. How I look to this? Okay. never be able to do that without. But the Chinese government did a good job in 1970, 1982. Away opportunity for these farmers' children. It's one for me to solve that. We were able to provide everybody free education. By 1986, by 1988, the Chinese government all the Chinese worldwide for charity. I don't know whether you heard the Hope, the Hope Project in China. We are invited from everywhere to provide our children education now. Chinese government, shame on Chinese elite. A long time ago, during the Constitution year, we a clinic in every village in my county. My county was not the best in Shandong. In Yan Prefecture, there were 17 counties. My county was around 15. Not a good place. But we built every village. Every village had 4 or 5 barefoot doctors. When I came to the US, many professors asked me, why do you allow higher graduates, barefoot doctor, to treat health? How can you trust high school graduates to become doctors? I say, you never understand. You will never understand. A good doctor, how much he knows is his attitude toward his patient. In this rural area, these doctors, they was very limited. They love their people. They are 4 hours. You have to be 66 days old. You can count to come to your house any weather, any. Because their service, and laughing pregnancy, almost doubled by the end of Cultural Revolution. 20 they had Chinese government gave $6 billion for aid to other third world countries. India received $6 billion from US. People are empowered. They can do a great thing. I living in the United States for years. I enjoy medical insurance. But I have a very big mistrust of American doctors. From years. I'm a healthy person, but I was killed by one of my doctors. You'll be surprised how their treatment helped me. One time I went to New York, went to a friend's house in New York. I lived there for a little. On the way home, I heard the radios talking the line, the tick, and in New York. I looked at my arm. There's a flash on my arm. So when I said, God, put this here. disease. I need to sit. I need to. I want to say, yeah, don't worry. Disease. It's allergy. And he gave me very, very strong, the strongest anti-allergy. I'll forget the name. Something like that. I'll forget the name. So I went home. I had a very bad fever. I feel God, I was. So I went back. They give me 5 minutes. He said, apparently it's strong enough to. And he doubled the doses. So I went back. It's become. Came back to him. He said, the dose is not strong enough. Thank God I threw the weight medicine one. I said, doctor treated me. I done with him. I called my friend. I was in New York at the time. He said the allergy action give to you is the strongest for a person like you. It will to you in the first place. He didn't care. He just money and that's it. Right? You know what? Doesn't matter. I want to tell you one story about the and story I want to tell you about how the commune worked. Many people in the West didn't know how to work hard if they didn't have any. Right? If you didn't pay people in a manner, how could people work hard? They didn't know. Don't need a whip to work. Ourselves. We work hard, we want to do our best. If the social economy was right. Over years, production in my the reproduction increased 20%. That's well. Any standard for rural increase that much. How did what we talk about is the new competition among the kids. You don't compete with others. Care of each other. When I was working in the village, there was one friend in my team. Very nice guy, but he called in the morning. The product team every morning asked me to wake him up. So the first there, I called him there. His name is one time outside his house. And he went to eat gradually. The next I went to wake him up. He asked why he didn't come up. So I went back to my brother, team leader. Came up. Even though he answered. He said, went back, grabbed him up. He knew. Okay, so I grabbed him up, and then I wake him up again. I wake him up. Him out. I walk in. His grandma said, "Child need help, need sleep." The child needs sleep. So I came back to the leader and said, "You know, his grandma was so angry with me. Team leader said, don't worry about his ground. He needed help. So I went back again. What I'm telling you is, we helped him. This guy came along with us every day. Very good work. The only problem he couldn't copy was he was very smart. I went to learn to play Chinese organ. After one week, he can play a song. Everyone knows Dongping, right? He come home 1 week. I couldn't. We have to study how to draw painting. After 1 week, I was able to paint horses. Very beautiful. I couldn't do it. I gave up. But in 1997, I came back. I saw him on the streets walking. I saw kitchens. I said, "Come in." The guy. I need to watch. He saw me when he went back home. Time of getting into his house, he put on his. I said, "What's going on, Diane? Why you walk naked on the street? He said, "Don't want to leave." Love was so for me. He had a 4 boy, wife. Put help with him. Get out with him. Everybody else let go. He's like, "What did you care?" Nobody bothered with him. So he became a mentor. I said, "Lion, it's sad to see you like this. I want you to live like a man." It's not easy. I said, you were used to be a painter. Why don't you paint again? Oh, he said, for so long, couldn't do it. Oh, no, you can't. I want to buy it before I go. Wait for another 10 days. I want you to paint a painting for me before I leave. So the next day came up. And Dongping really couldn't do this talk. 1 year. When you come back next year, go and make a painting for you. I am not the painting. So you are more than me. But after that, 3 months later, my young sister called me. He called himself. But when I heard this story, I really cried. And I felt to write something. I said, the collective will not disband in the earth, and wouldn't harm himself. And that's true. If the collective, we would much better society in China, and we don't need some migration workers, and we don't need to have this educational crisis. My time's up. Okay, I'll stop here.
Take your question.
Okay, you need me?
We have quite a lot of time for questions.
No. Zedong